he did that interview to get out of Man U, simple as that. You thought he would have got out before this season started, but that didn't happen. And once he carried on, he wasn't happy with the managers they brought in. And to be fair, he's not the player of old.
What do you do with a star player? I mean, Ben just alluded to that. It's sort of like this team ethos of sort of just a great team spirit, and we've seen plenty of that in the World Cup. It's a great team spirit versus your star turn, who, there is going to be a certain amount of drama that comes in association with that person. I mean, how do you deal with a personality like that?
Well, no player is bigger than the club. That's the thing, as much as you like to think, or players do, that they're so important, the manager can't leave them out or whatever. It's not the case, The fans are there for 60-odd years, 70-odd years. Yeah, those players are there 5, 10 years max, so they're disposable. I just think he knew he could go and earn loads of money in Saudi Arabia and not have to run around, stand up front. He's at the end of his career. If he'd have gone to Man City like he was proposed to, he would have scored 40-odd goals last season with that service in the box. He's one of the best finishers ever. But in a Man United side, that has to work hard now to try and get results. They're not the team of old. He's found it difficult. So he needed to find a way out. Like it or loathe it, he did it through a journalist, Piers. And I would have said, if I was his agent, don't do it. Let me speak to the club, and you'll lose your legendary status at the club by doing it that way. But he's obviously headstrong and decided, no, this is it, and there was no way back for him after that.
What Kamid said when it happened was, I don't blame him for having those conversations, but just have those conversations behind closed doors.
Yeah.
But he's done it because that's how he's comfortable. And he turned up at the World Cup and seemingly very unaffected by it, scores his goal. And then gets left on the bench. Yeah, and I think that's a sort of a bit of a moment, isn't it, for him, and the realisation that suddenly he's, as important as he has been for Portugal, he's no longer their talisman as it once was. So it's a big sort of moment in his career to suddenly understand.
Yeah. The thing that fascinated me observing that final match Portugal played, they lost. And his response was to just march off the pitch. And if you think he's the captain of the team and the most senior person on that team, actually at that moment should be supporting the younger players and, helping them because they're the future. But
going to the opposition.
Exactly.
He would have done himself the world of good.